Week 19 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I looked at off the wire this week. The first pitcher, Jose Serano of the Los Angeles Angels. So Serano, he's come out of nowhere this season. Where coming into the year, he really wasn't penciled in for a roster spot on this Los Angeles Angel team. But so far, since he's been in the rotation majority of the year, he's pitched well, 109 and 2/3, 6-7 record, 92 Ks at 3.36 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, and 9 quality starts in the last month of the year. 28 and 2/3, 2-0 record, 25 Ks at 1.91 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, and 4 quality starts available right now in 70% of fantasy leagues. Here's Jose Serano. We know this team's going nowhere this year, is this Los Angeles Angel team, but Serrano's going out there and he's getting the job done for fantasy owners in this Los Angeles Angel team. Even when on a bad Angels team, he's been one of the better pitchers over the last few weeks. July 28th versus Oakland, 2 2/3, no decision. 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. August 3rd versus the Mets, 6 innings, no decision. 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, a quality start. And August 9th at the Nats, 6 innings, and that one, no decision. 4 hits, a run, a walk, 7 Ks, a quality start. So the thing with Serano, like I said, he's not going to get a lot of wins, obviously, this season on one of the worst teams in the league, especially with Mike Trout, who's been out for a long time and deemed out for the season the last week as well. So right now, if you're just looking for a pitcher with good ERA, some good quality starts, and a decent K rate, I would go out there and get Serano this week. The next pitcher is Spencer Arrighetti of the Houston Astros. Arrighetti, he's gotten a lot of opportunity this season with all the injuries in this Astro rotation, and it's been an up and down year, no doubt about it, for Arrighetti. But the last couple outings, he's starting to figure it out and turn things around. And it seems like this Astro team, every year someone comes up from the minor leagues and they slide into that rotation and he becomes one of the better pitchers in all the league. I'm not saying Arrighetti has been, but like I said, he's shown some flashes of turning things around, and he's looked better over the last few outings on the season. For Arrighetti, overall the numbers aren't good. 5-10 record, 105 innings, 129 Ks, a 5.14 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, and 6 quality starts. But the last month of the year, the ERA and the K rate has been great. 1-3 record, 31 innings, 43 Ks, a 3.19 ERA, 0.94 WHIP, and 4 quality starts. So Arrighetti's going out there. He's starting to mow batters down. And that's what you want to see from a young pitcher, improvement as the season goes on, and that's especially been the case with Arrighetti of late. So right now, well, he's out there in tons of fantasy leagues at 74%. He's an ad this week, July 28th versus the Dodgers, 6 innings, got the loss, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a quality start. August 4th versus Tampa, 6 innings, got the loss, 5 hits, on 2 walks, 12 Ks, a quality start. And August 10th at Boston, what a masterpiece, 7 innings, got the win, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 13 Ks, a quality start. So the last 3 outings, he's gone out there and he's pitched gems, all quality starts in those outings. As well, 33 strikeouts in 3 outings is a very big number here for Arrighetti. So this Houston Astro team, once again, second half of the year, they're starting to figure things out. They're starting to get things going, and Arrighetti's been a main catalyst of helping this team, especially over the last few weeks. So right now, well, he's still out there in a bunch of fantasy leagues, like I mentioned, at 74%. He's a good ad this week. Next pitcher, Reed Nelson of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Reed Nelson, he's been a surprise of late as well for this Diamondback team. Available in 75% of fantasy leagues on the season. 117 and 2/3, 8-6 record, 95 Ks, a 4.51 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, and 8 quality starts. But the last month of the season, this Diamondback team's been surging, and Nelson's been a big part of it. 38 innings, 2-0 record, 41 Ks, a 3.32 ERA, 0.97 WHIP, and 3 quality starts. It's hard to find good starting pitching, especially this late in the season with playoffs coming up in fantasy baseball the next few weeks here. But there's some quality pitchers to go out there and get. Nelson's been one of them. I know the numbers overall haven't been great. In a couple games here and there, he's been hit hard, but for the most part, he's pitched well the last month. July 30th versus the Nats, 7 innings, got the win, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks, a quality start. August 4th at Pittsburgh, mediocre outing, 5 innings, no decision, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. And August 9th versus Philly, 7 1/3, no decision, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 9 Ks, a quality starts. And Nelson's gone out there, and like I said, he's pitched well in this Diamondback team. They were a middle-of-the-pack team, 6th, 7th spot in the wild card about a month ago, but they really moved up quickly, winning a lot of ball games in the last month of the season, and they're even threatening for a division title as well as this Arizona Diamondback team. So with some reinforcements, guys coming into the rotation, and Reed Nelson pitching good as late, he's definitely a pitcher to go out there and get this week. The next pitcher, Paul Blackburn of the New York Mets. So Paul Blackburn, he's been a surprise trade for this New York Met team at the MLB trade deadline, and I thought this Met team, they needed a top-of-the-line starter still in this rotation, and I still believe that. But as a back-end pitcher, I think Blackburn is decent, but he really won't put this Met team over the top of help fantasy owners. Available in 80% of leagues on the season. 63 innings, 5-2 record, 50 Ks at 3.86 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, and 6 quality starts. And over the last month of the year, 17 innings, 2-0 record, 14 Ks at 3.18 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So like I said, Blackburn, he's not going to strike out a whole lot of people. He's a back end of the rotation pitcher, which is obviously fine, but he's going out there and getting the job done, even though it's been easy matchups for Blackburn since he's debuted in a Met uniform. August 2nd at the Angels, 6 innings, got the win, 6 hits, a run, 2 walks, 6 Ks, a quality start. And August 7th at the Rockies, 6 innings, no decision, 5 hits, a run, 2 walks, 6 Ks, a quality start. His next outings versus former team, August 13th here for Paul Blackburn. This Oakland Athletic team, believe it or not, they got some bats in that lineup. Brent Rooker having another monster season, 30 home runs on the year. Shane Langoliers, he's not bad. Lawrence Butler in that lineup as well. So Oakland, they got some boppers where they can hit the baseball and they could put runs on the board. So Blackburn versus former team, we'll see what he could do. But right now, since he's going out there and pitching good baseball for this New York Met team, a team obviously right in the hunt of the wild card, even though they've definitely fallen off over the last few weeks, I think he could go out there and help fantasy owners this week as a back-end pitcher on your roster. Next pitcher is Edward Cabrera of the Miami Marlins. Edward Cabrera, we know he's got a good arm. We know he's had some flashes throughout his career, but we also know this Miami Marlins team's not going to give him a lot of run support, and they're just not going to win a lot of games, obviously. But Cabrera on the season, 55 1/3, 2-3 record, 68 Ks, a 5.20 ERA, 1.43 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So the K rate's great, but the WHIP obviously isn't good. And like I said, he's not going to get a lot of run support and pretty much not help you in getting wins. But the last month, 30 1/3, 1-1 record, 33 Ks, a 3.86 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, and a quality start. So Cabrera's going out there. He's pitching good baseball, like I said. And he can help fantasy owners in these deep 12-team leagues or deeper. And I think he's more of a categories type of league or roto pitcher is Cabrera, because like I said, we're not getting the wins and not getting a lot of quality starts in points leagues. I don't think he'll put up great numbers. July 30th at Tampa, 5 innings, no decision, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. August 4th at the Braves, 5 innings, got the win, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks. And August 9th versus the Padres, 7 innings in that one, no decision, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. So the last 2 outings versus good offenses, Cabrera's gone out there. He's got the job done. Just like I said, I don't like the team he's on, where the Marlins, we know, gutted their roster, and even before the trade deadline, were one of the worst teams in all Major League Baseball. So right now, while Cabrera's pitching good and he can help, I think in more roto leagues and head-to-head category leagues, he's an ad this week, available right now in tons of fantasy leagues at 82%. The next pitcher, Nick Martinez of the Cincinnati Reds. So Martinez, he's been in and out of the rotation all season for the Cincinnati Red team, and we know they traded Frankie Montes at the MLB trade deadline, and Martinez got slotted back into the rotation after he was a reliever on and off all year. So right now, Martinez available in tons of fantasy leagues at 83%, and on the season, 91 innings, 6-5 record, 75 Ks, a 3.16 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, and a quality start. So overall, the numbers are pretty good. ERA I like for Martinez. Yeah, strikeout rate is a little down. WHIP is good. And also as a starter, he's not going deep into games. But if he give you 5-6 innings at most and pitch decent, I think in deeper leagues as well, Martinez is a good ad. Like I said, he's been inserted back in that rotation ever since the Major League trade deadline, and he's paid good dividends for the Cincinnati Red team, and he's been a decent pickup this week for fantasy owners. So the last few outings for Martinez since back in the rotation, August 5th at Miami, 5 innings, got the win, 4 hits, no runs, 5 Ks in that one. And then August 10th at the Brewers, 7 innings, no decision, a hit, no runs, 7 Ks, a quality start. So for him to go out there and pitch a gem in yesterday's ball game and one of the better offenses, especially the Brewers. We've seen them put up a lot of runs this week, sweeping the Atlanta Braves early in the week. So Martinez out there, 83% of fantasy leagues. I know he's not going to get a lot of wins or go that deep into ball games, but like I said, he's been a nice find for them. Once again, is Martinez, signing him in the offseason, in and out of the rotation, now back in, and he's going out there and putting up good numbers. So I think this week he's a good add in 12-team leagues or deeper. The next pitcher, Yariel Rodriguez of the Toronto Blue Jays. Yariel Rodriguez, we know he's one of their top prospects in the system. And this kid, he throws gas, but another player that's been in and out of the rotation and on the injured list as well this season, on and off for this Toronto Blue Jay team. So Rodriguez is available in 83% of fantasy leagues. And I think in deeper leagues, he can help as well on the year. 50 innings, 1-5 record, 52 Ks, a 3.60 ERA, 1.30 whip and 2 quality starts, but the last month, 20 2/3, 0-2 record, 23 Ks, a 3.48 ERA, 1.26 whip. So Rodriguez, he's got good stuff, like I said. But the other thing with him as well, he's on a team that's not going to win a lot of ball games. And also, I don't think he's a pitcher that's going to go that deep, 5-6 innings at most. You're going to get from Rodriguez, in my opinion, as well, which is fine. And like I said early in the video, it's tough to find quality pitching towards the end of the year. July 29th at Baltimore, 2/3, he only lasted, got the loss. A hit, 3 runs, 4 walks, a K in that one. August 4th at the Yankees, 4 2/3, no decision. 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 4 Ks. And August 10th versus Oakland, 5 2/3, got the loss. 5 hits, a run, a walk, 5 Ks. So Rodriguez, like I said, he's not going to pitch a lot of innings. He's going to have a good strikeout rate. And also, he's on a Blue Jay team that's not going to get him a lot of run support. But I believe he still could go out there and help fantasy owners in the deepest of leagues. And he's got good potential. And he just has to stretch out that arm a little bit and keep the whip down. But I believe he still can help owners in the deeper leagues. And this time of the year, you got to find some diamond in the roughs that can help you go all the way and possibly win a championship. And players like this, I know they're under the radar. I know the numbers aren't all great and they're not on the greatest of teams, but they definitely can contribute and help fantasy owners the rest of the year. Next pitcher, Cody Bradford of the Texas Rangers. Cody Bradford, early in the season, before he went on the injured list, he was one of the better pitchers in all fantasy baseball. Now he's starting to get things going once again since he returned. On the year, 30 innings, 4-0 record, 31 Ks, a 3.60 ERA, 0.93 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Bradford, I know his first outing back, he was batting practice out there. But then to go into Yankee Stadium, a good outing and get the win in that one is something definitely to look at and to be impressed about. I'm not saying he's going to be great as Cody Bradford, but like I said, good flashes early in the season. Now he's been back in the rotation. I believe it can help fantasy owners in deep leagues, out there in 86% of leagues. August 3rd, back in the rotation, 3 2/3, no decision. 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 Ks versus Boston. And then August 10th at the Yankees, 5 innings, got the win. 5 hits, a run, 7 Ks. So Bradford, he's not really a high strikeout guy, but he's got some good stuff. He mixes his pitches well. And this Texas Ranger team obviously going nowhere this season after winning the World Series last year. And they want to see what they got with some of these younger guys. Max Scherzer, he's been back on the IL over the last couple weeks here. Jacob deGrom, I don't believe he's going to return this season. Tyler Mahle, he just returned to the rotation. But like I said, Texas is out of it. They sold some pieces off at the deadline. And right now, Cody Bradford, he got off to the good start in April and May. And now back in the rotation, I believe he can help fantasy owners in deep leagues. And he's available in 86% of fantasy leagues. Next pitcher is Ryan Walker of the San Francisco Giants. I'm not really big on closers usually, but Ryan Walker named the closer. And this San Francisco Giant team, all of a sudden, a team that looked like they were finished behind 4 or 5 teams in the wild card race, now only a game and a half out of that last spot. And Ryan Walker named the closer for San Francisco a couple days ago and already got thrown into the fire and got the save. Overall in the season before he was the closer, the numbers have been great. 61 1/3, 7-3 record, a save, 73 Ks, a 2.20 ERA, 0.90 whip on the season. So Walker, rotation guy in his career, and also been an opener as well this season for the San Francisco Giants. But now that Duvall, he got sent to the minor leagues a few days ago, Walker inserted as the closer, and he's going to get opportunities. This Giant team, they win ball games with a lot of good starting pitching and close ball games at the end. And Ryan Walker now, he's going to get opportunities for San Francisco. And like I said, they're in a race for this last wild card spot is this Giant team, especially set coming up at the Atlanta Braves, who are right there neck and neck with the Giants for that last wild card spot. So Ryan Walker, he's pitched good all season, and now his value skyrockets even more that he's going to get saves under his belt. So right now, well, he's only out there in 55% of fantasy leagues, and by the end of today or tomorrow, I believe he's going to be owned in over 50% of leagues, because like I said, closers are hard to find this time of the season and in general. And if you could get a closer who's on a solid ball club this late in the season, he could help fantasy owners in a big way and possibly be a reason you could win a fantasy league, especially in those roto leagues and more category leagues. Points leagues, closers aren't the biggest of things, I believe, but they can help as well if you got a guy in the right situation. And I think Walker's in the right situation, and he's pitched well all season. Final pitch I looked at off the wire this week's Bowden Francis of the Toronto Blue Jays, available in 99% of fantasy leagues. But Francis, he's gone out there and looked decent of late. I know overall the numbers haven't been great, and he's on a team where there's not going to be a lot of run support and not a lot of wins in a tough division and selling off pieces at the deadline. But on the year, 49 2/3, 4-3 record, 43 Ks, a 5.44 ERA for Francis, a 1.39 whip. But the last month of the year, 13 innings, 1-1 record, 10 Ks, 3.46 ERA, 1.15 whip. So Francis, he's got inserted into the starting rotation. We know they traded Kikuchi away to the Houston Astros, and I like that deal a lot for this Toronto Blue Jay. To get a power hitter like Joey Walfido in that deal, Jake Loss, who could be a future piece in the rotation. We saw him early in the season up with Houston, and Willie Wagner in the deal. I think when we look down the line, it's going to be one of the better trades for Toronto. And Bowden Francis, I don't believe he'll be in the rotation next season unless he shows flashes for the remainder of the season in this rotation. Is Francis. He's just a pitcher filling in and seeing what he could do. July 29th in Baltimore, 5 2/3, got the win. 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 2 Ks. 7th versus Baltimore again. 5 innings in that one, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 Ks. Francis available 99% of fantasy leagues. I'm not saying he has huge upside. Also, like I mentioned, he's not on a great team in a tough division with the Yankees, the Orioles, Boston Red Sox have been playing well this season. But Bowden Francis, I think in deep points leagues or deep roto leagues, can help fantasy owners. Because like I said, he's got some decent stuff. He qualifies as starter reliever, which is good versatility as well. And he's got a decent matchup tomorrow night at the Los Angeles Angels, one of the worst teams in the American League this season. The offense hasn't been all that great, so that's a few pitchers I looked at off the wire for Week 19 of the fantasy baseball season.